Okay, there I am, starting a little bit late because I made a couple of mistakes. My setup, but it usually takes people a while to in. Chug, it's the Angry Chicken Man. I am back. I should clear up behind me and maybe make another cocktail. I was making a video. Yeah, it has been a little while. It's good to see you. I was taste comparing cask strength Australian whiskies because I just got a new one. So that was my excuse. So I think I am going to rebox the newest one because it's got a really nice box. So I'm going to put this in the cupboard. The mysterious cupboard of mystery. So with the overflow because I've got too much booze. There's no room in here. Anyway, so it comes in a really nice box. I'm going to put it back in the box and have the box on display for a while at least. Put that back in the box. Put it back in the box. Let's just see something like here. Gotta do some little adjustments on my whiskey shelf. That should be stable, he said, with more hope than surety in his voice. That one in there, and that one in there. And this one also goes in the mysterious cupboard of mystery. Until again, all right. Palate cleanser. Okay, there's a little bit of whiskey left in my tasting glasses. They make an old-fashioned with that later. All right. But I did have another cocktail for my cocktail channel in mind. Let's put these out of the way so I hopefully don't fucking break them. All right. So, Chog, you made yourself a delicious cocktail. Lime soda with triple sec blue curacao, parfait and more. Wow, that's a treat. That's a real treat. You're giving yourself a very brightly colored sweet treat with that. Oof, sounds nice. It's like highball with lots of ice. That's how I'd have that one. That sounds great. Hey, Celtic King, how you doing, man? So... what are we doing? My video ideas. I had decided I'm going to do an old cocktail called a Fairbanks. And I'm just going to double check its history, actually. I used to find a lot of cocktail recipes. Fairbanks. Okay. Fairbanks number 1. No, it's not that. Fairbanks number 2. It's not that. Is it a Douglas Fairbanks? Where did I get this recipe that I'm going for? Fairbanks rye whiskey. Apricot brand. No. Wait, is it on the liquor.com website? Let me have a look. No, that did not work. Let's see. Okay, named after famous people. A Charlie Chaplin, a Mary Pickford, a Bellini, John Daly, Ginger Rogers, Shirley Temple. So did I just fucking make up this cocktail or did they change it? All right, I'm just going to... Okay, this is now doing my head in. Fairbanks cocktail. Other sites have a Fairbanks cocktail. Diffords. I just looked at. Adult bar. That makes it sound porny. Crystal mixer. Okay. Okay, so there's just fucking bunch of drinks called a Fairbanks. And was it Punch? Bring back the Douglas Fairbanks. Let me have a look. What's this one? Gin rum. That's definitely not it. I am absolutely doing my head in here. How did I come up with this recipe that I've come up with? It's closest rye whiskey. I've come up with rye whiskey, apricot. Oh no, wait, that is it. What? I'm off my fucking trolley. Jesus. Ooh, nice. Glass goblet. Yes. Large capacity. Celtic, doing fairly well, thank you. Might take this opportunity to make this Fairbanks. God, I was just confusing myself, honestly. So it's just like a rye old fashioned, but using apricot liqueur instead of sugar syrup. Oh, I need to get some ice. All right, you'll have to excuse me. I'll be pretty quick, so I won't even. Actually, you know what? Because I'm going to make a video after this. Having just said I won't put the chickens in charge, I think I'll live up to Angry Chicken Man and put the chickens in charge. Oh my God, what are they doing? They're fighting me. Get in there, chickens. I want to leave you in charge. Okay, that's a bit better. That's a bit better. Let me see. There you go. That's a pretty good chicken arrangement. All right. I'm going to leave chickens in charge, so I probably should put the banner on saying the chickens are in charge. I've got to go out and get some ice. And I'm going to come back and make this drink. So I'll be back within 60 seconds anyway. Oh, wait, I need some. Okay, might be slightly longer. Look, I might put some elevator music on. Because I might be slightly longer. This one's called Daydreaming. All right, so I'll just put that on. I'm going to go out and get some ice. All right. Got the ice. Now, what's happening? Just gotta get this happening. This is not really happening. You bet your life it is. Apricot liqueur, which I have in here. Probably the first one, apricot brandy liqueur. Rye whiskey. That's the project's right. Okay. Pretty simple. Get that happening. Chocolate and aromatic. Alright, this won't take long because it's a YouTube short, so 60-second videos. Should only take me a couple minutes to make. I just got to set up. First we'll do the close-ups for making it. Okay, so a video camera here. So you're saying, this is Chog and yourself jumping ship interstate, something rural. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, real estate is horrifically expensive. And yes, because a lot of people had the idea of living somewhere just outside the city. All those places got really expensive in the last 5 years too. It's ridiculous. All right, so I want chocolate bitters. Chocolate bitters. And Angostura bitters. All right, all right, all right. That there. Right. Mixing glass. Get these ready. Get ready, cause here I come. Get ready, cause here. Ooh, what do I? Ooh. It's gonna be dodgy. Anyway. Get ready. Get ready. Okie dokie. Got this and that and that. Yep, I don't need anything else. I guess I'm ready to go. Alright. Let's try that. There we go. I reckon that's ready to go. Let's make the cocktail. Rye whiskey. Apricot brandy. Chocolate bitters. Angostura bitters. All right. That's Chunzo. Let's get these happening. All right. There's a bit of sediment in my apron. That's what you get with natural ingredients. A bit of sediment, fruit sediment. Oh, the letter's going off and it's going to kill me. You know. Life's a gamble, as they say. That was my first mistake. Oh, that didn't work. What the fuck is that? Oh, lucky I checked. Okay, stir this. Alright, that's just pretty interesting. Oh, let's check that glass is in the right position for the video. Yep. And strain this sucker in. And put a bit of orange peel. You dinged me, other bit U foods, of course. Oh, that's pretty weird and fucked up. Alright, duly noted. Alright. Lucky I wasn't doing a talky thing when that message dinged, or I would have been pissed off. Alright, that's there. Yes, that's my UFoods text. Okay. Now, this goes back here. Turn this on. How's that? Okay. G'day cocktail lovers, this is a Fairbanks cocktail. There are quite a few cocktails named after the actor Douglas Fairbanks. This is the simpler one. This is essentially a rye old fashioned using an apricot brandy liqueur as the sweetener rather than sugar syrup. Makes a very nice looking drink and oh, it's got a nice taste. The choice of your rye here is going to make a big difference. Use one you like. Here's how we make it. In a mixing glass, put 2 ounces or 60 mils of rye whiskey, and then half an ounce or 15 mils of apricot brandy liqueur, then 1 dash of chocolate bitters, and 1 dash of Angostura bitters. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 15 to 20 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and then strain that into a rocks glass over a big chunk of ice, and I'm just using a twist of orange peel as the garnish. If you search Fairbanks cocktail over 6 different websites, you'll probably get 6 different recipes. I like this one. You might find another one you like. Whichever, I hope you enjoy and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers. Alrighty, so I'm not going to make any more videos so I can pack all this gear up. Hello, Strictly Sega, by the way. Oof, put this out of the way. Out of the way. And sorry, I'm going to disappear for a very short break. This one will be like less than 30 seconds. Just remembered something I want to get, so I'll be back. Oh, and here I am. Okay. Settling in now. Okay, let's put this over here. And don't need the banner anymore. So you're saying strictly sake. Bushwhackers, hawks. You got the reference in the name of the stream, Blazing Saddles. It's Hedy. I couldn't resist. Okay. Silly, obscure joke I made with the title of this stream. It is Hedy Lamarr's birthday, famous actress from the early mid-20th century. And as soon as I saw that, I just thought of the silly running joke in Mel Brooks's Blazing Saddles of the bad guy in the town whose name is Hedy Lamarr. And people keep calling him Hedy Lamarr, and he was always exasperatedly going like, "It's Hedy." So I couldn't resist sort of naming the stream after Hedy Lamarr's birthday, but using a picture of Hedy Lamarr for the thumbnail, because I'm silly. Okay, I just spilled some of that. Anyway, the Fairbanks. Do I actually like it? It's not bad. Definitely don't hate it. Yeah, that's not bad. I was tempted to add a little bit of the sugar syrup to it. I don't know that it really needs it. But now I'm bored and I'm going to put the tiniest bit. It looks like a little potion bottle. That's why I kept it. Used to have a liqueur in it. Cream liqueur. And it's just a couple of mils, really. Spiced apple sugar syrup, my specialty. Okay, so I'm going to stir it a bit to mix that in. Now, did that improve it or did it not need that? Honestly, that improved. Oh, yeah, no, that improved it. I like that more now. Just that little dribble of my special concoction. Weirdly, that's two extremely different apple syrups I've made this week. One is actually just reduced apple juice, which is an interesting sort of sweet and sour syrup. And that one was sliced apple covered in sugar. So the sugar absorbed all the moisture absorbed the apple juice out of the apple slices and liquefied. Then I toasted some cooking spices in a saucepan, like cinnamon, nutmeg, star anise, cloves, cardamom, and then added the apples and syrup to that, and a little bit of water to make sure all the sugar dissolved. And then I reduced that a bit, so it's quite syrupy. It's not too thick, but it's quite decent. It's like 2 to 1. 2 parts sugar to 1 part water in there. Decent flavor. Well, Douglas Fairbanks, Errol Flynn, same genre. They played the same sorts of roles. Errol Flynn, of course, Australian, Tasmanian, in fact. Douglas Fairbanks, I think, was American. But they were both like leading man characters. I don't know if Douglas Fairbanks was as fucked up as Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn was a very fucked up individual. Now I'm going to look up a biography of Douglas Fairbanks now. American actor and filmmaker. Let's look at his Wikipedia entry. Born in 1883. So, what was that, 140 years ago? God damn, dude. You motherfucking old. No, 100, was it, what did I say, 140 years? 140 years ago. Yeah, okay, he was a silent movie star. And Errol Flynn was a talkie star. Best known for his swashbuckling roles, Thief of Baghdad, Robin Hood, and Mark of Zero. Errol Flynn also played Robin Hood, I believe. Founding member of United Artists. Founding member of the Motion Picture Academy. Hosted the first Academy Awards. And he was married to Mary Pickford. I feel that this line here, he was considered the biggest star in Hollywood in the 1910s and 20s. Fairbanks' career rapidly declined with the advent of talkies. I feel like Brad Pitt's character in Babylon is a reference to that. For those who missed it, if you want a weird film about Hollywood in the sort of 1920s to 1930s, Babylon's fairly entertaining. I think it fell into the trap of Hollywood people think people outside of Hollywood are more interested in Hollywood than they actually are. But yeah, that reference to Fairbanks being biggest star in the silent era and fading away very quickly with talkies makes me think that Brad Pitt's character is quite inspired by him. I do, look, it's not the best film ever, but I do recommend Babylon if you want to see just this really decadent film about Hollywood being super decadent in the 1920s and 30s. Check it out. And it's just the filming of it, the staging of it, the soundtrack is just huge. The actors are good. Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, a few other names. But yes, it's also a little bit bleak, that film, as in everyone fucks themselves up in it. But slight spoiler alert. I'm not going into any specifics. But yeah, so that's a soft, angry recommend. That's a soft recommend. Like Bodies, which I talked about recently, that's a solid recommend. And kind of a medium recommend, another Netflix series I watched, Inventing Anna, that came out like a year or so ago. And Mrs. Angry and I watched that over the last week or so. I did like it. It was very interesting and fascinating. So Chog, speaking of films, you and Mrs. Chog watched X-Men. Oh, wow. Okay. And this is my possibly controversial take, I like X-Men 3, The Last Stand. A lot of people poo-poo it. But I quite like it. And I'm also intrigued by what you mean by the entire X-Men as well. Does that include the Wolverine movies? Does that include the young X-Men movies? Because there's a lot of movies that qualify as X-Men movies. I do like the one where Wolverine time travels. Yes. Inventing Anna is this young woman who's telling everyone in New York she's a German heiress, and she's trying to get all the money people to fund a project of hers. And she ends up being arrested for fraud. But there's a lot of episodes in this show, and It goes all over the place. Like, is she really a fraud? Is she really real? Who knows? It's pretty fascinating. So yeah, okay. So all the X-Men from 2000ish to now. So not the cartoon. Yeah. Well, so that's it. Days of Future Past. Yeah, I like the time travel one. Yeah, centered on Wolverine. Holy shit, Strictly Sega! I love your passion for your collection. X-Men on Laserdisc for $300. Yeah, don't overhype yourself with Logan. I think Logan is quite good. It's bleak as fuck. But yeah, I did like Logan. It's a whole different vibe to every other X-Men film. Holy shit, you're saying X-Men Laserdisc usually sells for 1,000? God damn. Oh yeah, Chog, Strictly Sega is Mr. Physical Media. Yeah, I liked Logan. I thought Logan was quite good. Like, yeah, when I say bleak as fuck, I'm not actually saying that as a negative. I'm just saying I enjoyed it. It was bleak as fuck. Safa, how you going? Fucking yeah. I love old-fashioned variations. Well, I've got this thing it's in 2 little bottles. Several. This is a milk clarification I did during the week. It's basically a clarified whiskey sour. And I haven't tasted it. So I'm tasting it on the stream tonight. God, I'm going to be whiskeyed the fuck up tonight. I'm drinking lots of whiskey. Before the stream, I did a taste comparison of 4 Australian cask strength whiskies. They varied between 55 and 65% ABV, 110 to almost 130 proof. And that was fun. So, Safi, you're into HD DVD. Strictly Sega has got about 300 HD DVDs. Now, I have not bought physical media for a while, as in video or audio for that matter. I still buy physical print media, comics. Actually, I still get comics sometimes. All right, so I'm going to try my clarified whiskey sour. That's all of that one. And we'll see what's what. So all the hup between the DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, HD, 3,000 movies. Hot damn. Oh, you're behind on TV shows. Yeah. Mrs. Angry, who got rebound COVID, which fucking sucks, but is a thing. So, okay, so I got COVID, 2 weeks ago? Gave it to Mrs. Angry, which I feel bad about. But when she did a doctor's appointment about it, they actually prescribed her antivirals. I think that's because she works for the health department. So she took antivirals, which I think helped her a lot. And then before, we had a weekend away on the weekend. Tuesday was Melbourne Cup Day, public holiday, so I took Monday off, annual leave. Went to Healesville, which is fucking awesome. And then on Saturday night, Mrs. Angry felt sick again, like really rapidly deteriorated. In the afternoon, we're at the Four Pillars Distillery, having a great time, such a good venue. And then we were having dinner that night. Mrs. Angry just faded really quick, started to feel really sick, and was, the coughing and congested. And I think it was Sunday morning, she did another COVID. She had tested negative on the Thursday. And on Saturday night or Sunday morning, she tested positive again. Rebound COVID. That's fucking bullshit. No, it wasn't food poisoning, Safa. It was COVID, because she did a test. So that limited what we did for the rest of the weekend. But it was a nice sightsee thing. So we were just doing outdoor stuff. But we were avoiding being in enclosed spaces with people. And we just did outdoor stuff. It was fine. It was a minor sort of restriction on what we were planning to do, but it was fine. So that, and Mrs. Angry is still congested and whatnot. So I feel super guilty, quite honestly. I love Chog. You've got a sound system as well. 4K is good on that. And a little warning from Strictly Sega: watch out for Warner HD DVDs. Made at a shitty factory. Get Japanese discs. Okay. Anyway, trying my clarified whiskey sour. Oh, that's so fucking yummy. That is, ooh, and I put a smoky whiskey in that. I put a couple of, there's actually a blend of whiskeys in there. And I put a smoky one in. And there is just this tiny little, this is really sweet. Well, and the silky feel from the milk from the whey is great. And there's just this little barbecue smoke vibe under it. It's so nice. I think if I was playing physical media, you're talking about even Xbox. If I was using physical media, I'd be running it through my PlayStation 4. Chog used to stream, hasn't caught up to physical media. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, but I'm not that much of a purist. No, that's an absolutely accurate hot take, I think. Oh wow, that's weird. 4 Matrix box sets to get working Matrix Revolutions. Dang. I still couldn't really tell you how those movies end. I've watched them multiple times. Like, I can tell you the original Matrix down to the nth detail, but it's kind of like there's a thing where everything's Agent Smith, and I'm not exactly sure why he loses, even though I've watched it several times. And I don't hate the Matrix sequels at all. But they never sort of lodged in my brain. So, Chog, you use an Xbox Series X as the brains for home theater. Nice. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's so fucking good, honestly. Yum. And this gave me a bit of trouble. You see, it's nice and clear. But it gave me a bit of trouble. I had to fucking filter it multiple times. Apparently, worth it. The end product's really yummy. Matrix was color tinted. Well, yeah, that was kind of their thing. I remember. And okay, and Strictly Sega, you know trivia and stuff probably better than me, but I feel like The Matrix, the original Matrix, was the first movie to play with the logo of the production company, like Warner Brothers in their case, because it used to be very verboten to mess with the branding of the film companies at all. It's quite common post Matrix. I'm not going to assert a big thing that the Matrix was the first one to really mess with the logo of the film company, but I kind of think it was. And then everyone did it. And I got nothing against that, but that's the thing. Dr. Jones. First you've heard of Hedwig Lamarr. Okay, so you may be making jokes as well. I'm making a silly reference. Hedy Lamarr, famous. Actually, look, I'll get her biography. Hedy Lamarr. Austrian-born That's right, she was an inventor. Okay. So, God, she only died in 2000. She's born in 1914. Early film career in Czechoslovakia, including the controversial Ecstasy in 1933. She fled from her first husband. Wealthy Austrian ammunition manufacturer, secretly moved to Paris, went to London, met Louis B. Mayer, offered her a contract in Hollywood, and she became a star in 1938. Her final film was in 1958. So that's a 20-year Hollywood career. Got a Hollywood Walk of Fame star in 1960. At the beginning of World War II, she and avant-garde composer George Antheil developed a radio guidance system for Allied torpedoes that used spread, spectrum, and frequency hopping technology to defeat the threat of jamming from the air. Can you just fucking wrap your head around it? This Hollywood star from Austria was also an inventor who worked with a composer to develop a radio guidance system for torpedoes to defeat the Axis jamming function. Good Lord. She's incredible. Okay, so this film, her Czech film, Ecstasy. She played she was 18, played the neglected young wife and an indifferent older man. Film became both celebrated and notorious for showing Lamarr's face in the throes of orgasm, as well as close-up and brief scenes of nudity. Lamarr claimed she was duped by the director and producer, who used high-power telephoto lenses. But other people related to the movie contest her claims. So then she was in Hollywood, wartime fundraiser, later films. Inventor. I want the inventor stuff. Some people reckon their work with the torpedoes helped with the creation of Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS cell phones, but their work was never formally adopted anywhere. Yeah. But again, Hedy Lamarr. So yes, and there's a joke about the character from Blazing Saddles called Hedy Lamarr, and everyone calls him Hedy, and he's very upset and says Hedley. The mouse that roared messes with the Columbia logo. Okay, that's 60s. For those who don't know it, it's such a weird film. I think it's got the first Doctor Who, William Hartnell, in it. So I think I stumbled across it on TV on a Saturday one time. The premise of that movie, and it's truly weird, is a very small country in Europe finds out that after World War II, the Allied powers paid reparations to some of the countries that suffered damage during the war, and they were like on the Axis side. So they go, well, if we could we're broke. If we could start a war with America, even though we don't have an army or anything, we'd get money for reparations. And they end up being ridiculously successful. Hence, they are the mouse that roared. It's a very weird film. It's a satire. It's very weird. So, Chog, the Columbia edited an MGM logo, superimpose your dog onto it. Nice. Well, MGM TV used to use a kitten because MGM famously had the roaring lion. MGM TV used to use a kitten, which I thought was very funny. Fuck yeah, that's good. Man, I love a good clarified cocktail. Oh, there's a lot of things. The Paramount Mountain. That's been played with a lot in various films too, I think. Oh, Safra, it's not the writer's strike. It's the actor's strike that was over today. The writer's strike was over a couple of weeks ago. the actors' strike is over today, which is great because I love seeing Labour win. Both the writers and the actors basically got everything they wanted. The studios were fuckwits for months. I think it was almost at the 6-month mark for the actors, and probably was that for the writers too. So the studios acted like fuckwits for months, and then virtually gave them everything they wanted, which was only just. Neither the writers nor the actors were asking for anything outrageous. They were just saying, hey, studios, don't be pieces of shit. And the studios are going, but we are pieces of shit. We love being pieces of shit. Fucking love seeing Labour win, quite honestly. Strick saying, Strange Brew has the lads messing with the lion. Nice. Yeah, and if teachers strike, I'm 100% behind them. It's I'm almost always in favor of industrial action. Fuck the bosses. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to get into doing industrial action, but my union is getting into the next round of enterprise bargaining, and they're going for some pretty big calls, which would be fucking awesome if it happens. Actually, it'd be fucking awesome if they get half the stuff they're going for. Fucking love union. Well, I love my union. There are some shitty unions. There definitely are. The Optus outage. That looks fucked up. Like, that's man, I'm glad I don't work for Optus is the short thing. Because yeah, like disaster recovery is my thing, and that was like an outage that affected millions of people, potentially costs businesses a fortune, and what the fuck, what was the cause of it? And yes, actually getting rid of cash is a bad idea. You kind of sound like a conspiracy theorist when you start saying, no, you can't take cash away. But reducing the availability of cash hurts the most vulnerable people. So, yeah, it screwed you over. God damn. Yeah. No, it fucked up the trains in Melbourne because they were apparently using Optus for communications. So they got some big questions to answer, basically, about what the fuck actually happened there. So we got to see what that is. Doesn't appear to have been a cyber attack, just appears to have been and that's kind of worse if it was actually just a technical failure on Optus's part. So, Sophie, your brother uses Optus for plumbing business. Yeah. So many businesses were all friggin' messed up. So, yeah, Optus is going to have some big questions to answer. But yeah, it puts additional pressure on my work, which is where I am. It's like, look, here's another example. We need, like virtually every business in the world, we're dependent on Microsoft. Like we use Office 365, we use Azure for hosting things, we use Teams for communication. If Microsoft went down, and it has happened in recent years, then, well, shit's fucked up, yo. Oh, yes, Chog, I read it was fucking up two-factor authentication for a lot of people. Yes. It's really complicated. Again, it comes back to the audio books I was listening to recently. Where's my phone? I'll tell you what they are because I'm vaguely forgetting. Where did I leave my phone? Dude, where's my phone? I'm super confused. Here's it. Wait, where the fuck did I put my phone? Oh god, it's here. I'm so easily confused. Right. So, audiobooks I've been listening to. Actually, fucking won't be in my library, will it? Because it was free for a short period. I think the next one I'm going to get is another Expanse book. Hey, Liam. I am fine. I hope you're well too. Yes, this is the thing. Optus pissed off if you paid the bills late, but they'll do fuck all to compensate you for the outage. Yeah. Oh god, you had video appointments with interstate clients. Fucking sucks. My current audiobook I'm listening to is a series of books that starts with one called Temeraire. It's kind of if you've ever read the book or seen the movie Master and Commander: Far Side of the World, Russell Crowe. It's like 1800s British warfare, except dragons are a thing. And so besides sailors, you have the Air Corps, which are people who fly dragons. By Naomi Novik. Good books. But I'm probably going to do another Expanse book after this. What have I listened to recently? I listened to Hank Green's 2 books, A Beautifully Foolish Endeavour and An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. Recent one from John Scalzi, The Kaiju Preservation Society. Some short stories from Blind Boy Boat Club. The audiobook's called Small Bones in a Fist. Some more John Scalzi, The Last Emperor. That was a series of 3 books, which it took me way too long to work out was a global warming allegory. Ooh, a really good ensemble cast thingy of Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, which I liked. World War Z by Max Brooks, the classic that has almost nothing to do with, or the movie that took the name World War Z has almost nothing to do with the book. Ooh, Chuck Wendig writes some good sort of almost sci-fi horror things. Wanderers, that was good. And then I had a serious non-fiction, The Myth of Normal by Gabor Mate. I even listened to Hannah Gadsby's 10 Steps to Nanette, which was quite interesting. The Dawn of Everything by David Graeber and David Wengrow, which I'll probably re-listen to sometime soon. That was good. Waterworld, but the Universal logo is blue because the world's flooded. Oh God. I have not committed anything about Waterworld to memory. Oh yeah, I saw you shared that with me, Doctor Who. That's Paul McGann's Doctor getting a miniseries, which would be cool because I'm a big Paul McGann fan. I like him. He's in one of my favorite movies, Withnell and I. So that would kind of be cool. Sorry, what's this a reference to? Ralph singing. Oh yes, the Fox intro for this. Sorry, I read that as fax, and I go, what was Ralph singing a fax? No, the Fox intro. I remember that, and I know what you're talking about. Oh man, I'm a fucking genius. That's a really good drink. Just throwing it out there. If you want to know someone who's a genius at making really tasty drinks, it's me. Dr. Jones, you tried the Saint Savant and you liked it. Mind you, remember the main? To Hell with Spain? Yeah. Yeah. There are so many of those cocktails that are just little variations of each other. But I did like the Saint Savant. I really enjoyed it. But I just love boozy drinks, boozy stirred down drinks. I friggin' love them. Oh yeah, that was a fun one as well, Safa. Apparently, they're saying in future Simpsons episode, Homer won't choke Bart anymore because it's horrible child abuse. And it's like, after 30 years, maybe we shouldn't make jokes about child abuse. What was hilarious is I remember a thing from very early on. There was an interview with Matt Groening, and this is from very early days, first decade certainly. And they're talking about standards and limits on characters. They said there was a hard limit for Homer's awful and everything, but there would never be any domestic violence between Homer and Marge. That was like a hard rule. No domestic violence between Homer and Marge. Not even joking. But he even said in the interview, but we have Homer strangling Bart almost every episode, so we don't exactly have the moral high ground here. Safa, I don't remember, but I remember there being a huge build-up to it, because that was back in the days where something would be on air in America for a year or even two before it got here. I actually, okay, I think most people probably know the origins of The Simpsons. It was short animations on the Tracy Ullman Show, a sketch comedy show. My first exposure to The Simpsons was one of those shorts from the Tracy Ullman Show was on before a movie I watched. It's when they were getting a family photo taken. So that was pretty trippy because that wasn't advertised. I just went to the movie and that was on. Okay, when did The Simpsons debut? Because I don't even remember. Simpsons debut. 89. Began in 87 as a short on the Tracy Ullman Show. So 89. Sort of Christmas 89. Nice Chog coming out with hot takes. You prefer Family Guy to I don't hate Family Guy, but I don't believe it competes well with, say, the first dozen seasons of The Simpsons. Strictly Sega, you go South Park over all three. There you go. I think South Park is probably still more inventive than either Simpsons or Family Guy. A lot of problems with South Park, but I do think, and they've been going like for fucking ever, I think South Park is consistently more inventive than Family Guy or The Simpsons. Do the Bartman. Yeah, that was from very early on, if I remember. I think that was definitely in the first 5 seasons, if not the first 2. But yum. South Park was edgy when you were a teenager. Yeah, I don't like the whole edge thing, but I do think South Park is more inventive. He's like Seth MacFarlane. I don't hate Seth MacFarlane. I like his Star Trek spoof. Was pretty entertaining. It's not even more. It's more an homage than a spoof. The Orville. Yeah, I don't hate Seth MacFarlane's sense of humor. Oh, here's the other thing. There was bootleg Simpsons merchandising at markets before the Simpsons ever aired here. I still remember the Black Bart t-shirt. Actually, I'm on the internet. I'm gonna see if I can find it. If it comes up. Black Bart Simpson. No. Those are all recent. They're not the thing I remember. I think he had dreadlocks. Okay, so there are literally, there's a disturbing number of hits. The Black Bart. Okay, well, that's probably enough of me looking at that. But yes, weird early 90s memories. Dr. Jones. Conan O'Brien, yes. He was the showrunner for a while, if I remember. Probably for a couple of years. Conan O'Brien is responsible for some very good Simpsons episodes. Liam, Treehouse of Horror series. Honestly, I reckon it's up and down over the years. I think they did some really good stuff in the Treehouse of Horror anthology, because there were like no limits, because they could kill characters and all that sort of stuff, because Treehouse of Horror is not canon. Oh, yeah, I do kind of remember 100 Ways to Die in the West. There was some funny stuff in that. So you're not a fan of Ted. I'm not a huge fan of Ted. I think I don't know if I watched the sequel. I think I found it mildly entertaining. When it goes to college, I still do the nerd thing, which is obviously ridiculous because I'm obviously a nerd. Okay, what was I doing? I wanted my jig. Yep, okay, I'm really getting to fuck myself up. Okay, got a bit of this sugar syrup. That's probably enough. Possibly man, that's fucking yummy syrup. And next time Mrs. Angry makes some pancakes, I'm going to put that syrup on them. Mrs. Angry has an awesome pancake recipe she makes around. Now, whiskey. So a bit of cask strength. Okay, that's only about half an ounce, I should say. What can I put in? What whiskey will I put in my old-fashioned? Just randomly, apropos of nothing. 23rd Street. This 46%. That's a nice ABV. There we go. And I've got Angostura bitters here. We'll use that. Okie doo. Put the whiskey in the glass. Put the bitters in the glass. It's probably enough of that. Oh yes, Dr. Jones, I've kind of been over my COVID for, I don't know, a week or so now. Mrs. Angry, not so much. You're up later than you should be there, but that's okay. Hot damn, a bottle of red is probably, I think. All right, so what's this? Yeah, okay, my third cocktail of the evening. That should probably be it for me. Oh shit, that was stupid. Splashed a bit of booze about. Yes, I did see there is a Wiggles documentary on one of the streaming services. Can't even remember which one, but I know it's one I'm actually subscribed to. Probably not going to watch it, honestly. Chog, you've been doing lemon solo with vodka. Well, you can, of course, get that hard solo. Oh, yeah, that's pretty fucking good. So, yeah, again, a little bit of trivia for people who don't know. Before they were the Wiggles, the dudes from the Wiggles were in a pop band called the Cockroaches that had a couple of kind of minor indie hits in Australia in the late 80s. Used to play them on the college radio station where I was at college. And I think several of them had trained as teachers. And I don't know, someone twigged, there is money in musical entertainment for kids. And so they formed the Wiggles. They do occasionally do Cockroaches reunion shows. They did really fun pop music. They were never huge, but they were mildly successful. They did quite fun pop music, but then they worked out you can make a lot of money doing music for kids. And weren't they right? My goodness. Daughter got into the Wiggles during the Sam era. It was White from History. Look, I honestly was glad my kids weren't into the Wiggles. They were into High Five. At least there was some eye candy for Dad. Attractive young ladies in the High Five lineup. But we did watch a lot of High Five. Another Australian kids entertainment thing. Dr. Jones, you had 3 as well. Ancient Mariner, Maximilian Affair, Mini Mojito. Nice. Oh, speaking of mojitos, Mrs. Angry's been really successfully growing mint. I'm thinking I should do something with that, and a mojito really springs to mind. I might do that this weekend. I don't know. Double shot by the God. I'm not sure what that is. Yes, the Wiggles documentary is called Hot Potato. Yes. Yeah, Chog, there was, very attractive guys, very attractive girls in High Five. So, a bit of eye candy for the parents. Safa, look, probably a long stream tomorrow night. Anything could happen. It's a strange old world. But probably a long stream tomorrow night. Probably me getting even more drunk than I am tonight. Though I have to pace myself. God, I didn't bring any soda water in again. God damn it. Yeah, I said this, I'm going to go and get some soda water. Oh man, that's fucking yummy. Yeah, boy. So yeah, I've been making all sorts of concoctions this week. And I just noticed that orange had gone weird. And got moldy, so I'm going to have to peel and skew. So I'll make another very clarified cocktail tomorrow, probably. I still got this much. That's probably 2 drinks in that. It's really yummy, though. Have to decide what to do. Trip to Sydney. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since I did a party stream. Certainly didn't do it last week. I would, I guess, have to look up YouTube to see. When was the last really long one I did? As the actress said to the bishop. So... Oh, wait, this... Oh, there you go. No, 2 hours, 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 4 hours on October 21st. That was a little while ago. Is that 3 weeks ago? 3 weeks since I've done anything more than 2 hours. Then 2 hours, 2 hours, 6 hours. There we go. There we go. Friday the 13th, I did 6 hours. Then 2 hours, then 5 hours. 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. 3 hours. 6 hours. 6 hours is the marathon one. And I don't always manage it. Look, some of the Friday night streams are only 4 hours. But that's the way it goes. Sam was the second yellow we go to. Yeah, there you go. Yes. Sam was a girl, if I remember. Or was Sam a guy? I just remember there was a girl wiggle at one point. Sure take. Sydney is more disgusting than teenagers after the first prom. Oh dear. Oof. Hey, Dr. Jones, thanks for dropping by. Get some sleep, my friend. Liam, you're looking up high five. Tim, Nathan, Charlie, Kelly, Kathleen. Yes. Hotties, the bunch of them. Just saying it. So Sam in the Wiggles was a dude. What was the girl Wiggles name? I don't even remember. Fucking yum. 9:17. I definitely. All right, a couple more sips of this. Then I need to go and get some soda water to be vaguely fucking responsible tonight. Also, thing I have. Okay, everyone agrees the girl Wiggles name was Emma. Okay. I'm going to make a Christmas gin. Everyone does Christmas gins. Gin infused with Christmas flavors. I want to get... I'm going to work out where in Melbourne... What's the best Christmas pudding I can get in Melbourne? I'm going to crush it up and put it in a big container and fill it with gin and get the gin infused with the flavor of the Christmas pud. Leave it in for a week or two and then strain it out. Have Christmas pud gin, then probably do something with the Christmas pud as well. Maybe mash it back into a shape. Set it on fire because it's full of gin. That'd be kind of fun. I'll have to think about it anyway. Oh, man. Okay, that old-fashioned was really good. But I do need to pace myself and get a gosh darn soda water. Which means excusing myself for a brief period. I love when we do Who Married Who. So Emma had an Australian story. Sam married Dorothy the dinosaur. Yes, Greg had to at least temporarily retire because of chronic illness. He couldn't keep him performing. And then it's like they all went out and it was just the one original Wiggle and 3 replacement ones. But then they seem to bring back original Wiggles from time to time. I don't even know what the current Wiggle lineup is. Oh, I think I'll try and watch that because there were a couple of interviews that came out of it. It's in the media, and I did read thing with Lisbeth Gore, aka Elle McFeast, and that did seem pretty interesting. Chug, yes, I'm going to try and pace myself. Yeah, and I tend to pace myself, so I normally don't get hangovers. Usually the worst, I might wake up, I might have a very mild headache, and I just have to have a simple headache tablet to get rid of it. And sometimes, particularly after party night, I might feel a bit the next day, but I feel like that's as much due to sleep deprivation as to what alcohol I may have had. Because if I do a 6-hour stream and I go to bed till 2 a.m. and wake up some point, and then I'm just a little bit off, but never really raging headache, I'm going to die, I'm going to vomit. Never do that. Which is maybe a product of me essentially not drinking alcohol for the first 45 years of my life. Why am I drinking alcohol now? Because I'm an idiot. But I feel like my body's strong because I didn't drink it for all those years. Oh yeah, no. Apparently the Chopper Read interview completely fucked her career. I worry that if we got Hedy on Australian Story, he wouldn't be very interesting. Just kind of writing, "Hey, Justin, how you doing?" Oh man, that's really fucking yummy. I like old fashions. They're really yummy. Just make them with good whiskey and a good syrup. Oh, okay. So there's a different girl wiggle now? Tashay took Emma's place as the yellow wiggle. There you go. Oh, another Twitch viewer. Hello. Dranoel. I'm doing well. How are you? I'm just going to fill you in, and I use a thing called StreamYard to multi-stream to multiple platforms. Most people watch me on YouTube. Some people watch me on Twitch. Even occasionally someone watches me on Facebook. But I tend to put things up. Justin, you watched me in high school and now you have your first grey hairs. There you go. Ooh, Strictly Sega. Who are we saying was creepy? I love it when someone's creepy. Really? Is the Wiggles lineup 8 Wiggles now? 4 guys and 4 girls. I honestly, I would never have predicted how much of tonight's discourse would be about the Wiggles. But I'm here for it. I'm actually here for the Wiggles discourse. I just wasn't expecting it. Oh man, that's so fucking yummy. But I should go and get some soda water. Because I'm a responsible motherfucker. Drenell. Well, honestly, it was Hedy Lamarr's birthday. An absolute pioneer of film, and she was an inventor. She's a pretty incredibly person. Plus, I also got to make a dumb Blazing Saddles joke about Hedy Lamarr. Justin, good question. When did I get my first grey hair? I honestly probably noticed like a grey hair when I was about 27. But then I was dyeing my hair consistently for decades, right up to COVID. It was a COVID I just decided I was going to stop dyeing my hair because I didn't even know what my real natural hair color was. And now I do. It's this. I'm probably getting a haircut next week. Not a radical one, but just sort of collar length. We'll see. Blue Wiggle's daughter is the new Blue Wiggle. That's awesome. Oh, Chopper. Yes, no, Chopper was awful and creepy, and apparently he was super drunk. All right, I need to go and get a sody water. Should I put the chickens in charge while I do that? I feel like I kind of should. Just put the chickens in charge. Won't take me long. I just got to go get a glass and some ice and some soda water. Oof, you settle down. There you go. Chickens in charge. I will be back quite quickly. Just need to get something non-alcoholic to drink. I need to drink just to keep my throat lubricated while I talk crap. So I was like, well, if I drink soda water for a while, that's it. Walking up the hallway, and coming out of the hallway, and now I'm back in the room. Did the chickens behave while I was gone? Or did they try to take over? Sorry for anyone who's wearing headphones. I don't usually do that. Oh. Sorry, I didn't get the Lachlan, the new purple wigger, gets the mums a bit randy. Well, that was always the strength of High Five. The guys were cute. The girls were cute. Something for all the parents. But that was always a thing. That from the early days of the Wiggles, there was this joke about the yummy mummies. The mums who were kind of horny for the Wiggles. That was the original lineup. So yeah, when you're a performer, you know, it's a powerful aphrodisiac. So yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. After drinking all these really great flavored drinks, I feel like there's a residual flavor on my tongue, and drinking soda water kind of washes it off. You're a Barney. Oh, I was never a Barney fan. I remember an early website called the Jihad Against Barney the Purple Dinosaur. People who really hated Barney. And I remember this is how old it was, because this was pre 9/11. They had this whole disclaimer where they go, we're not trying to be offensive to Muslim people when we talk about jihad. We're just being lighthearted. Man, Americans being apologetic to fucking Muslim people. That's a thing of the past. Ooh, lemon and soda water. I actually put lemon juice and lime juice in my Pepsi Max. Love Looney Tunes. Oh man, I watched so much Looney Tunes because I was, it was broadcast TV even pre-video days, because I'm so fucking old. And lots of Looney Tunes and Warner Brothers stuff. As Eddie Murphy said, if women are trained. No, celebrity is a powerful aphrodisiac. Oh, I watched The Goodies heaps because the ABC just repeated it heaps. Do I like Simpsons Barney? I don't know. I kind of identify. I'm somewhere between Barney and Homer, I think. Justin, you never heard of the Wiggles? Jimmy back to Australia. Yeah. The Wiggles were a thing when my kids were little, and thankfully they never got into them. I guess there were like video rental places in the early 80s in Dubbo. I think personally, the Angry household, we didn't have a video player till 83, possibly even 84. But yeah, there were probably video stores for a couple of years before we had a VCR. That's West Dubbo, Chog. West Dubbo first got VHS as a radical new technology in 2009. I swear to God, randomly someone from West Dubbo will tune in one night when shit talking West Dubbo for no reason. And there'll be a jihad against me from people from West Dubbo because they do that. I feel like I haven't slagged West Dubbo for a while. Yes, there absolutely was a Video Easy. Also, for a little while, we had little video hire vans. They would come to your house, like you'd call their number, and a little van with a couple of shelves of new release videos would come to your house, and you'd pick one, and and that was good. Chog, shit you not. Drove via Dubbo, old servo going out of town, had a massive shelf of DVDs, VHS. Oh man, Country Town friggin' paraphernalia in servos is wild. The Dubbo airport is outside of town, but it's past West Dubbo. It's on the west side. Netflix started with DVDs. The original Netflix is you would go onto a website, you would hire a DVD, it would get delivered, you could hold it for as long as you wanted, but you couldn't like get another DVD until you send it back. And then they got into streaming. And the world changed. I think my prediction is in 5 to maybe 10 years, we'll have a swing back. Most of the streaming services will have died or amalgamated, and physical media will be making a comeback. And broadcast TV will be making a comeback because all the TV companies will realize they were absolute fucking morons to go into streaming because it was actually losing them money. It was literally just, you get these legacy companies who see a tech company making money and they get obsessed and go, we want that money. So Netflix was successful. So they all obsessively went, we have to have a streaming service. And it's like, yeah, but you're not going to be successful because you're saturating the market. Netflix was successful because they were the only ones doing it. And the majority of what Netflix ran was back catalogs of syndicated shows and some original content. And all these creators of broadcast TV are fucking up their own revenue streams. And I think they will eventually realize they've made a really stupid mistake. And they'll just make really lucrative fucking distribution deals with Netflix or some other things. And yeah. Oh yeah, and ads on a paid streaming service can fuck off. Yeah, absolutely. But I think we're in a very weird phase that's unsustainable, and the companies will eventually realize it's unsustainable, and all these excessive number of streaming services will amalgamate and or die, and physical media will make a comeback. Might take 5 years, might take longer, but I am reasonably confident it will happen, solely because what's happening now is not economically survivable. It's just these ridiculous legacy companies obsessed about someone else is making money. I want to make money. It's like when they all tried to fuck over YouTube. And it was like, no, YouTube's something different. Why don't you calm the fuck down? They should not have all tried to be Netflix. It was a very stupid idea. And I don't think it will last. Oh, Justin, who knows? I know early on, Blockbuster was sure they were going to last forever, and no one took Netflix seriously, but no one took Google seriously. The Google founders tried to sell their search engine to some of the established companies for something like a measly $1 million, and they all said no, which is obviously massively to the benefit of the Google founders. Oof, Strictly Sega, they took away 4 aisles at your JB. And you know them, and when you went in, they go like, okay, dude, don't be mad, but there's a lot less physical media now. So Chog, up north, you've got a lot of physical media. Yeah, I honestly think this depletion of physical media, I think it's temporary, because the whole streaming thing is not economical. It's not sustainable. TV and movies used to be like a fucking license to print money, and these absolute fucking morons have butchered their own cash cows, and it's simply because the tech bros told them it was a good idea, and they saw a tech-related company, Netflix, making money, so they all thought they'd make money, and it was a real stupid idea. And I think the pendulum will swing back. That's my prediction, okay? My second prediction is my predictions are worth diddly squat, but let's see. My prediction is in 5 years, the pendulum will have swung back. There will be far fewer streaming services. They will have consolidated, and physical media will be making a comeback. And yeah, streaming doesn't have special features, although they can. And yeah, no, Disney were like a-hole. Oh, Disney loved the idea of make as a rent thing. Disney have done just a whole spectrum of fucked things over the past few decades. Disney is an evil company. Yeah, no, I always loved the special features on discs. Fucking loved it. Yeah, we'll see. What are my predictions worth? You know. I kind of think my prediction's solid though. Like I'm tongue in cheek saying my prediction's probably worthless, but just on the surface, like the whole streaming thing is economically unsustainable. All these TV and film companies used to just have like a license to print money, and they got sold some bullshit and it fucked their revenue streams. And I think they're going to realize, okay, no, streaming is actually bullshit. So I think there still will be streaming services, but I think, and yeah, be a huge asterisk, I probably don't know what I'm talking about, but I think Netflix will move more towards what it used to be, which was mainly kind of like licensing box sets, letting you stream whole seasons of shows that you used to watch. I think the only other streaming services will be vanity projects from billionaires. So that's basically Prime, Amazon Prime, because Jeff Bezos fancies himself as being like a Hollywood bigwig, and maybe Apple TV, because Apple fancies himself, and they've got an absurd amount of cash on hand. So I would not be surprised if the whole streaming thing scales back to being maybe Netflix, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, maybe something else, but maybe not, and the TV and film production companies working out, we actually made much more money from physical media and syndication. So, gosh darn. So that's my big prediction of what will happen in the next 5 or so years. Am I going to be right? Honestly, probably not. But, that's my big call. We'll see. And okay. So, I left Disney off that, didn't I? I think Disney might keep streaming for a while. But okay, I'm old enough. I have a long enough memory. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, with video, and I mean like VHS and DVD, Disney would actually release an extremely limited amount of physical media, because they had this whole thing that they did not want Disney products to be in sale bins. They would prefer to leave money on the table, as the saying goes, and have people not be able to get the physical media they want, rather than produce too much of the physical media and have the Disney products be on sale. And that mentality lasted for quite a few years, and then they ditched it, and then you just get mass production of Disney physical media, and you would see it in sale bins. But Disney has these big sort of world domination ideas from time to time, and then they grow out of them. But they go, hey, Heiny, by the way. So Strictly Sega, TV shows are more popular. Yeah, but you get box sets. You can't put you can't put a whole season on one disc, but you would get a box set. Be a few episodes on each disc. So yeah, my big prediction: consolidation of streaming services. And my almost definitely wrong prediction would be it would narrow down. The only ones that would be left would be Netflix, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, and Disney. But also physical media will make a comeback. And also, sorry, Safra, I think you asked me about syndication. So what syndication is, like first run of TV shows, successful show. Syndication is reruns. It's basically different TV networks can license a show that's already run years in the past, and it's like, we're paying you X amount to be able to broadcast reruns of this TV show. That's called syndication. And that was actually a really significant revenue raiser for both the production companies and the cast and whatnot. Justin, if I'm playing physical media, I'll play it on my PlayStation 4. Oh yeah, no, and that is definitely a thing. You can binge without swapping discs. Like Mrs. Angry is still suffering quite a bit. She's been on sick leave all this week with her rebound COVID. She's been binge watching. Oh my god, that classic. Classics like 90s, 2000s sci-fi show that was made in Australia, Farscape. She's been doing that, and just the last couple of days, I think yesterday and today, she's been binge rewatching Oh God, my brain just stopped working. Probably due to the amount of alcohol I've had today. Bridgerton, that's the show. She's been binge rewatching Bridgerton. And it's been really cool because she's in the next room. I've been working from home and I just hear her laughing at Bridgerton. Bridgerton's a great show. I'm sure you can still buy floppy disk readers. There's a reason for them. Suffer, I'd say I'm Tim Smith, as in, if I went and drive a car, I might crash into someone's fence. What if Tim Smith accidentally... Fuck that guy. He is a despicable fucking piece of filth. Well, would I be upset that I made Tim Smith feel bad by using him as a verb? I'm Tim Smith. Fuck that guy. He's a fucking piece of shit. He is really contemptible scum. He is the fucking worst. So I haven't really had a spray at Tim Smith for a while, but fuck that guy. He's so fucked. He's such a piece of shit. It's really funny because... Oh, okay. Chog, for reference, Tim Smith was an MP for the Liberal Party in Victoria, the state in which I live, and he's a fucking piece of shit. He was like just a right-wing troll, and he was always just talking shit and whatnot. And anyway, one night he's having a dinner party with someone, and he got real drunk and decided to drive home. And he was so drunk, he crashed his car into someone's fence, like single vehicle accident. And people kind of like, well, that means you're not fit to be in Parliament. You should resign. And he used to always say, if someone had like, I don't know, a minor stumble or a minor transgression, he'd be all in the media going, they need to resign. And people were saying like, well, you like drove drunk and crashed into someone's fence. You should definitely resign. And he was like, oh, but I was just playing politics. This is my life. And he's such a fucking steaming pile of garbage. And he did basically get forced into resigning. And he just fucking sucks. He just did all the racist dog whistling. He did the COVID denial, anti-vax dog whistling. He's just a fucking piece of shit. He's absolute fucking garbage. Was he a young Liberal? Probably. I mean, the young Liberals and young Nats are fucking infested with neo-Nazis at the moment. But he's just the fucking worst. He's a piece of shit. Just this he's like a stereotype of this horrible, self-absorbed, fucking wanker who doesn't see other people as humans and doesn't think he should ever face repercussions for his actions. Israel Followed is just a bigot. He was just from a really hateful right-wing evangelical church and was spouting gross, really hateful rhetoric and acted the victim when it's like, yeah, you know what? We can't in good conscience support you and give you money if you're just going to be a hateful, bigoted piece of shit. It's like, oh, I'm the victim. No, you are being an absolutely gross, bigoted, friggin' hate machine. Just like maybe shut the fuck up. It's just so weird. Oh God, okay. Safa's got his career summary. Born in 83. He's really that young, so he's only 30. No, wait, 40. Jesus Christ, my maths is so bad. He was the member for Q from 2014 to 2022. And he got super angry when they dumped him and just did all this wrecking stuff, like trying to fuck up the Liberal Party in the state election. They didn't really need any help. They fucked up on their own. Well, Chog, it's a stereotype, but it keeps coming up. Anti-gay pastors and preachers who turn out to be gay. It's actually genuinely weird. But even not just on the sexual thing, I've seen it said a few times, particularly with American Republicans, and particularly the extreme right of the Republican Party in the US, people saying every accusation from them is a confession. And there are just a freakish number of examples of it. When one of these right-wing demagogues starts railing publicly against blah, 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 some terrible thing, some terrible moral failing, it turns out that they're essentially talking about themselves. It's very weird. Oh, Ted Haggard was a fun one. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, for people that don't remember him, he was a very conservative American Republican, publicly anti-gay and whatnot, but he was a toilet trader. Like, he did this thing trying to get a blowjob in the toilets in an airport, and he got busted. It was fucking surreal. It's absolutely fucking surreal how many of these anti-gay crusaders are closeted. Still, my favorite was some preacher from Florida who was, did all this anti-gay preaching, and for a holiday he hired a cute boy from a site called rentboy.com and used church money to pay for this escort. And someone found out, and he came up with this bizarre claim like, oh no, like I'm feeling my age and I'm a bit infirm, and I had to hire someone to carry my luggage for me. It's like, you had to hire someone to carry your luggage from a site called rentboy.com, and he was trying to keep up this fiction, and some media people tracked down the guy he'd hired and said, hey, okay, so this preacher hired you for this holiday, and he says it was just to carry luggage. And this guy, because he's discreet, because he's a professional sex worker, and he's discreet, and so when the media say, was he hiring you for sex? He says it was just to carry the luggage. And he says, no, he's just a nice man. He wanted someone to look after him, and he needed help with all these things. And this guy's covering for him. And then someone, I think it was like from one of the gay papers, said, this is the guy. Look at all his history of being an anti-gay hate preacher, and then he hired you. And they're going, oh, is that what he was? No, okay, okay, truth, he was paying me to suck his dick. It's just like ridiculous. Oh, Chog, are you a sailor or rowing? Yeah, I know, it's the whole thing. But also, rowing particularly is a very private school thing. Nothing wrong with it per se, but it is very much a private school thing. And I mean, you do have to have money to sail. Although I do remember a friend in Sydney who found out you could just volunteer to crew on yachts on the harbour, because they all needed crew. And you didn't even have to know very much, because you could learn while you were doing it. And so he would sign up to crew on yachts on Sydney Harbour, and he said it was fucking great. You would like learn stuff and whatnot, because they would take you on when you knew virtually nothing about sailing, because you're just pulling ropes and stuff, and you would learn. And he got really into it. It's like, yeah, you just sign up on these things and you get to go out on yachts on the harbour on the weekend because they need crew. I was like, great. Okay, so Chog, so you're not a sailor, but you grew up around the water. Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. When you're on water, it is a bit more egalitarian, yeah. But, yeah, it was, like I said, this was a fun thing when I was living in Sydney back in the day. A friend working out, you could spend your weekend on yachts on the harbour because they all wanted crew. So I was like, cool. That's a whole thing, I guess. Why the heck not? So Chog, you learned a bit of yachting. Yeah, and you can pick up a boat for not that much. But yeah, but it was very interesting when I discovered this thing, or my friend discovered this thing and told me about it. Saying, like, yeah, you just go down to the yacht clubs and you volunteer to be crew, and you can get with like no experience, and then you actually get experience, and so you end up on better and better yachts the more experience you have. So, that's a thing you can do if you're young and healthy. I'm just so, we're still talking about Tim Smith. I'm so glad that he's faded, because the media was still giving him a platform in the last state election, mainly because he was shit talking the Liberal Party who dumped him, and I think they found that amusing. But thankfully, no one seems to have been giving Tim Smith a platform for the last, year or two. God, and this, I just remember, that's right, Dan Andrews resigned. He just quit while he was on top. Oh man, how fucking worked up are the Conservative politicians and the Conservative media that they never got Dan Andrews, that he just surprised them by resigning on his own terms. Oh my God, that's so fucking funny. And he's just dipped out. He's just disappeared. I mean, he might return at federal politics, because I'm sure there are people in federal Labor who think it would be a good idea to have him in the federal party. But maybe he's just fucking dipping out. So Chog, you cancelled your NBN subscription. You're on 5G. It's fast. Nice. Honestly, I should look into it. For reals. I'm probably paying too much for less than stellar internet, honestly. Yeah, and that's a real thing, Chog. The bad premiers got forced out, like Gladys Berejiklian. The premiers who were successful and popular, like in Western Australia and Victoria, they were just like, yep, you know what, I'm done. That was some tough fucking years. I am out. Jesus Christ, the stresses of running a government during COVID. My fucking God. And I'm definitely not pretending Dan Andrews was perfect. There were some terrible mistakes and terrible misjudgments, but it was also an unprecedented situation. So fuck. But yeah, the stress, my God. Like in England, they're currently having an inquiry into the government's handling of COVID, which was a fucking disaster. Like England had one of the highest mortality rates in Europe. And fucking Boris Johnson was just incompetent and pretty much like Scott Morrison. incompetent and lying. But all the state premiers largely ignored Scott Morrison and put measures in places that really significantly limited COVID deaths, at least for 2 years. The third year, New South Wales fucked us, and then everyone gave up. And then it's like, we're pretending it doesn't happen. But there's so much COVID around at the moment. It's very disturbing. Anywho, we've managed to make it through till 10 o'clock. Kind of chill Thursday night, which is nice. I like chill nights. Don't like stress. We need to just fucking chill. So I'm going to go sleepy bobos, and we'll see what we can manage for party night tomorrow night. That's kind of like the theory. I'll have a big party night. But we shall see. I'm not going to predict anything ahead of time. I'm not going to predict how much stamina I have, but we'll see what happens. I'll be here for a while. Who knows how long. Thanks for being here for 20 minutes, Hedy. Always good to see you, man. So you fine folk, please take care. Hope to see you another time tomorrow night if you're around. But I'm going sleepy bobos now.